Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another day with Student Education, the 16th of October 2012. And let's have a look and see what's happening on the four majors this morning. Let's go and have a look at the euro. Here's a daily. Yesterday, very indecisive candle, a lot of movement yesterday, a lot of wick, but very indecisive. On an upside move here after price actually found a support here at the 128300 mark, which happened to be the institution moving average on our daily time frame. So where's it heading to now? Pretty much back up towards the price swing here, or the prior current high, which is the highs over here at 1307.10. And you can see our intermediate trend is low, swing low just recently, evening star formation, another one back here. So price at the moment now heading up towards these levels over here. Indecision candle yesterday, so anybody looking for a decisive candle before placing a trade, we would have to wait for today's candle to close, either bearish or bullish, to give us a decision. Just be aware, as things that happen now, you can see the CTC is very much upside favorite. And if you look at the the previous high here, you can see 1305 is roughly the area we should be heading towards the psychological. Just remember that the downside trend over here, if you take the wicks, is very much here in favor, and we had lower swings just recently. So just be aware of it. We're going into potentially an outlook where we could see a lot of resistance above price as we speak. So just be aware of that. Looking intraday, you want to be aware of that, and you can see on my 4-hour time frame here, I've got my intermediate trend noted down here, and you can see that the institution moving average is the green horizontal line that's below me, as well as the 4-hour institution line below price. So a lot of things happening to support price to the upside just recently. However, we have to be aware that we're going to see a psychological resistance level in around this area. As you can see, that the lows are getting a lot, well, they're starting to pull back now, and you can see the indecisiveness on the histogram. A lot of red and blues, no true trend direction as beforehand, as we head into this major support and resistance level near term. So looking recently, the RSI is still above 50% line, which is good. However, we have to be aware that we're now trading into that 1300, which happens to be a major support and resistance level long term. And you can see before we had a lot of indecision as we headed into this area. So we've got to be aware of that, guys. On to sterling. Let's have a look and see what happened yesterday. Very interesting one, this. Yesterday we had a bearish engulfing candle at a fib retracement area. However, you can see last night's candle moving to the upside. I thought it was a bit different, so I did a refresh on my Metastock, and sure enough, what we have is a hammer tough. There we go. We have price now moving to the upside, finding a bit of support yesterday. A lot of wick to the downside, so very bearish to start with. But at the end of play yesterday on the US session, price finding support above this fib retracement area here. Now, I've taken the low here back in June to the current high here that we had recently at 16,300, which is a major long-term support and resistance level, or the resistance level high. And you can see price has been making lower swings, which dictates downside intermediate trend. However, the long-term trend still very much up. And you can see that we're trading above the institution moving average, which constitutes to this nice histogram on our side being nice and blue. However, just short term, you can see we've had a pullback. We are trading back up above the fib retracement level here at 23.6 fib. And as long as we can find support above here now, we should see price kicking up towards this intermediate trend line to the downside here. So we could look potentially at this area on 1500 as our first target. Otherwise, we look at the price swing as our first target ultimately. But as long as it maintains about 1607, then we should see price moving to the upside. So on our daily, still looking positive. We have two parts to our CTC strategy looking negative. Let's have a look at the 4-hour to give us an engagement. Well, straight away on the 4-hour, you can see that we're still trading below the institution. So ideally, we'd like to see price trading above that as soon as possible. One thing we have in our favor is the RSI is now above the 50% line, which is good. So what we need to see now is price trading above the institution as soon as possible. Okay, so you can see a lot of indecision in the last 12 hours or so. The 4-hour candle that's in play right as we speak now is bullish engulfing. You can see the intermediate trend on our 4-hour time frame is higher. We're making higher swings, which dictates upside movement. And this all coming off the 1600 just recently. However, we do need to get above the institution moving average as soon as possible on our 4-hour time frame. Get above that, then we should be targeting these areas around here at 1615 back towards the trend line. Get above that. I think we're going to see a lot of resistance over here. We do need to see that being broken before we see price making any further attempts towards that 16,300, the weekly resistance level above us. Moving on to the US dollar Swiss franc, you can see the price is moving within a consolidation range. between the 930 and the 940 here. And the most important thing to be aware of is the fact that price is now trading below the institution moving average near term. We are trading below the institution for the first time since October of last year, and it's very similar to what the Euro US dollar is doing at the moment now. It's trading above the institution moving average for the first time within the year. So you can see quite clearly that just near term we traded into the 1000, and since then we've had this head and shoulders, if you want to call it, and price is now moving to the downside. The intermediate trend recently is looking negative. You can see lower swings, which depicts downside negativity in the market. And near term over here, you can see we're consolidating above between the institution moving higher at 940 and the support resistance level low here at the 930. So we need to see price breaking above or below this. Otherwise, you're going to be trading within a consolidation range. It can be quite iffy. Trying to get decent trades or momentum in these trades is quite risky, primarily because we're trading in a very tight range. Okay, so when you start getting a true signal to buy or sell, by then the actual movement has actually occurred, and you end up getting into a false trade breakout. So we want to get above or below the 940 here or the 930. Ideally, price is looking negative, so you can see the sentiment is still looking negative. So a break to the downside would be a lot better. Okay, so we need to see a nice bearish engulfing candle here to the downside, getting below this 930 here, this current support area, which would be a lot better, because then everything will be in our favor. Why? Because you can see the sentiment long term is negative, because we're trading below the institution moving average, and all our moving averages are above price, and the sentiment long term is looking negative. So we do need to see price breaking to the downside to give us a true sentiment, because you'll be trading in the direction of the sentiment. The only other thing would be that would stop us from looking for that scenario would be to see a bullish engulfing candle here, and that would tell us or dictate to us that we should see potential further support at this level here at 930. And if that's the case, then we should be targeting the 940 again, because each occasion we've actually found support here at 930, prices bounce to the upside towards that 940 mark. So look for both on this candle here. If you're looking for an entry on the US dollar Swiss franc, I'd wait until we get an actual confirmation signal. Last pair of the day is US dollar Japanese yen, and let's have a look at this particular pair. So you can see quite clearly that price recently has been finding support at 7,800. A lot of support through here. 1 or 2 days or occasions where we saw price breaking below the 7,800 here, but price not going forward and really continue with that momentum to the downside. What we have seen though is on many occasions 78 being used as a support. And you also notice that the institution moving average also above price just recently. Well, over the past, since June of this year, price has been spending more time below the institution moving average than above it. Notice, however, since April of this year, you can see the histogram very much red and 1 or 2 areas of blue. Near term, we've seen blue over here as well. And you can see that price has been moving to the upside. Ideally, yesterday's candle heading up and breaking or targeting the prior high here, the swing high. And you can see that momentum recently on this particular pair, we've seen lower swings. And you can see yesterday's candle moving into this area of potential resistance. But you can see on the Asian session last night, price breaking, moving higher. Okay, so as it stands at the moment now, we're looking at price to potentially move back up towards this fib retracement area here at the 79.10 mark, and back up towards the institution long term. So as it stands at the moment now, we do have a clear signal for buying opportunities to the upside. And if you want to see where we're likely to go to, then ultimately we should be looking at the fib retracement area here as our first target. Otherwise, you could take the fib projection level from the previous low here to the current high, and then back towards this low and project to the future. So if I do that quite quickly for you, the low here we saw just at the end of September up to the prior high here in October, move it back down to the low we saw just recently in October, and you can see that 100% will take us back towards the institution moving average. So ideally we're moving towards these areas here. We'd like to see ideally 100% of the initial move. So we should be targeting roughly around the 79.40 mark, or thereabouts, as price finds support on the 78 moves higher. On each occasion we've seen price move finding support at 78. She has moved higher, so we've got to see an idea of where she's likely to go to. Ideally back up towards 100% would be our initial target. However, we have seen price consolidating before then, so just be aware if you are trading to the upside, just be aware to take those profits when they present themselves. Otherwise, for the foreseeable future, price looks like it is heading to the upside, so look for any buying opportunities on this particular pair. That's it for today, guys. I hope you have a fantastic trading day. Please be aware of any news announcements out there. If you are using this particular template, back it up for sound money management and just follow the rules of the template, guys. Any of you out there that are interested in getting into Forex trading, there's a course that you might be very interested in. Please visit our website for further details on that particular course. And if you are interested in trading or being taught how to trade this particular template, the CTC, Count the Cash System, please drop us an email at info@sereneeducation.com. Otherwise, have a fantastic trading day, and I'll see you first thing tomorrow morning. Until then, trade serenely.